Hello, hi, namaskaram. Very warm welcome to all of you. I'm very, very happy to be a part of this. I'm Gayatri Bhargavi. I'm more known as an anchor for Telugu television and as an actress. But today I'm here for a purpose as a woman myself here. And thanks to Edith Hospitals and the management for making me a part of this lovely occasion. This is Can I to I Can. Yes, we can. Together we will also. So this is a beautiful discussion about womanhood, about women taking care of ourselves. I would just like to read out a few things for you. Women in harmony with her spirit is like a river flowing. And without her, there's nothing which is possible because river gives us a pure water. It goes through stones, leaves. It also gives us the farms. It also gives us many more things which we can hardly think of. So, arriving at her destination, she has always prepared herself for the best, but always for others. But this time, it is we ourselves. This time we say, River, please think of yourself too, because you're important. Because of you, we are. So that's how we start our day today. Okay. We always say, can I do it? Can I really do it? To maybe, maybe not. And then, yes, I can. I'm sure all of us have gone through this path. And that's exactly what Dr. Pranati has thought about this program. Because we feel that we can if we want to. But the problem is we always think of others before us. And here we are today with a panel of women themselves who made a mark in their life to talk about from how we can say, can I to yes, I can. సో చాలామంది ఏం చేస్తామంటే మనం హాస్పిటల్కి వెళ్ళాలన్నా లేకపోతే ఏదైనా కొత్త పని చేయాలంటే కొంచెం హెసిటెంట్గా ఉంటాం. అబ్బా చేయాలా, పర్లేదులే, రేపు చేద్దాం, ఎల్లుండి చేద్దాం అని పోస్ట్పోన్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం కదా. చాలా సాధారణం. కానీ అలా పోస్ట్పోన్ చేయకుండా ఫస్ట్ చేయడానికి ఎలా అన్న దాని గురించే ఇవాళ మన ఈ డిస్కషన్. అండ్ ఇక్కడ మనతో ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా మీ అందరికీ తెలుసు ఆల్రెడీ గైనకాలజీలో పద్మశ్రీ అవార్డు తీసుకున్న మంజుల అనగాని గారు. అండ్ వీ హ్యావ్ ఎన్ ఎడ్యుకేషనలిస్ట్ దేర్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎన్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్కూల్. అండ్ ఫుడ్ గురించి, న్యూట్రిషన్ గురించి చెప్పడానికి ఎక్స్పర్ట్ కూడా మనతో ఉన్నారు. సో నా క్వశ్చన్స్ అన్నీ అయిపోయాక మీరు కూడా మీ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగచ్చు. సో ఇట్స్ అన్ ఓపెన్ టు ఆల్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆల్సో. సో లెట్స్ స్టార్ట్ ద డిస్కషన్. కొంచెం తెలుగు, కొంచెం ఇంగ్లీష్. లెట్స్ డూ ఇట్స్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్. ఓకే, పర్ఫెక్ట్. సో ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ గోస్ టు మంజుల అనగాని గారు. మీతో అడగాల్సిన ప్రశ్న, లేడీస్గా మేము చీరలు కొనుక్కుంటాం, నగలు కొనుక్కుంటాం, ఓకే, బ్యూటీ పార్లర్కి వెళ్తాం, ఓకే, స్కిన్ స్పెషలిస్ట్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్తాం, ఏదైనా చిన్నది మచ్చ, పింపుల్ ఏదైనా వస్తే, అన్నీ వెళ్తాం. కానీ టోటల్ బాడీ హెల్త్ చెకప్ చేయించుకోవాలి అంటే భయపడతాం. ఎందుకు వెళ్ళాం అంటే హస్బెండ్స్ని చూసుకుంటాం, ఇంట్లో అమ్మ నాన్నలు చూసుకుంటాం, పిల్లల్ని చూసుకుంటాం, తమ్ముళ్ళని చెల్లెళ్ళని చూసుకుంటాం, కానీ మనం వెళ్ళాం. ఎందుకంటారు? వై ఇస్ దిస్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ దేర్?
I think the first thing is culturally and societally we have been nurtured and we have been told this is the stereotypical thing. ఇట్లానే ఉమెన్ అంటే లాస్ట్, అందరూ తిన్నాక మనం తినాలి, ఇంట్లో అందరూ బాగుంటే మనం బాగున్నట్టు. దిస్ ఈస్ సంథింగ్ విచ్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ ఇన్కార్పొరేటెడ్. సెకండ్ థింగ్ ఈస్ ద ఫియర్. డాక్టర్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్తే లేనిపోనివి అంటగడతారు. సో ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ దే హ్యావ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ఈస్ వీఆర్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు గివ్ యూ ఎనీ డిసీజెస్, వీఆర్ ఓన్లీ గోయింగ్ టు డిటెక్ట్ దెమ్ ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ దేర్ ఇన్ ద ఎర్లియర్ స్టేజ్. సో ఆ భయాన్ని ఫస్ట్ తీసుకోవాలి. థర్డ్ పాయింట్ ఈస్ నార్మలైజేషన్. Women tend to normalize everything because they start comparing with their neighbors. So వాళ్ళకి ఎక్కువ బ్లీడింగ్ అవుతుంది, సో ఇట్ ఈస్ నార్మల్ టు హ్యావ్ పీరియడ్. సో మెనీ టైమ్స్ పేషెంట్ కమ్ టు మీ, దే సే దట్ నార్మల్గా ఉండే మెన్స్ట్రల్ పెయినే ఉంది మేడం. ఐ సెడ్ హూ సెడ్ పెయిన్ ఈజ్ నార్మల్? అండ్ వి నార్మలైజ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. డెలివరీ అయ్యాక తుమ్మినా తగ్గినా యూరిన్ వస్తుంది కదా, అది నార్మలే కదా మేడం. వై ఆర్ పీపుల్ నార్మలైజింగ్ థింగ్? బట్ దే నార్మలైజ్ ఇట్ బికాస్ దే ఆస్క్ దేర్ పియర్స్, వాళ్ళకి అవే ఉంటాయి బికాస్ సేమ్ థింగ్. So they think it is normal. So they start normalizing. Then they think it is velite lenponi vastayi. Third, they will think societally there are certain things which they are we told that women should not go. Fourth would be that అనవసరంగా ఖర్చు ఎందుకు, ఇప్పుడు మాకు ఇది టైట్ బడ్జెట్ ఉంది, ఈ నెల మేము ఇవి అనుకున్నాము, ఇప్పుడు నాకేమన్నా వస్తే మళ్ళీ దాంట్లో అంతా ఇది మై ప్రయారిటీస్, మై చైల్డ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఆర్ మై చైల్డ్. మనకి అగైన్ ఇటర్నల్గా మనకి చెప్పింది ఏంటి అంటే మనం లాస్ట్, మన ఫ్యామిలీ మంచిగా ముందు ఉండాలి, ఆ పిల్లల ఎడ్యుకేషన్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్. ఇండియన్ పేరెంట్స్ ఆర్ ద ఓన్లీ పేరెంట్స్ who will take care of children, grandchildren, everybody till they die. 18 years కి బయటకు వదిలేయటము అవన్నీ మనకి ఎవరికి రాదు కదా, మనం అలా చేయలేము. ఎందుకంటే మనం అగైన్ మన ఇట్ ఇస్ నరనరాల్లో అది కొంచెం వేసేసి నూరేసి పెట్టేశారు మనకి. సో పిల్లలకి ఏమైనా అయినా మనల్ని. సో ఐ థింక్ దీస్ ఆర్ ద రీజన్స్ వై ట్రెడిషనల్లీ ఉమెన్ హ్యావ్ నెగ్లెక్టెడ్ దెమ్సెల్స్. బట్ ఐ షుడ్ సే దేర్ ఇస్ బీన్ ఎ చేంజ్ విచ్ ఐ సీయింగ్ ఇన్ ద లాస్ట్ 1 decade slowly. Now why is it that there's a change? Because not because they want to, because the corporate culture has changed, and so the companies have made it mandatory for women to undergo master health checkups.
Excellent.
దాని వల్ల వాళ్ళు వచ్చి చెకప్స్ చేసుకుంటున్నారు, and they started knowing, then they understood the value of it, so they get for their parents done. Kids who are staying in US, వాళ్ళ పేరెంట్స్కి చేయించడం, ఇవన్నీ చేంజ్ వచ్చింది. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ సేయింగ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ దాట్ బ్యాడ్ యాజ్ ఇట్ వాజ్ 1 decade ago, బట్ స్టిల్ నాట్ అప్ టు ద మార్క్. ఇండియాలో ఉన్న పాపులేషన్ ఎంత అంటే ఈవెన్ టుడే 75-year-old విల్ కమ్ విత్ బ్లీడింగ్ బికాస్ లాస్ట్ 20 years ఏం స్కాన్ చేయలేదా అమ్మ అంటే చేయలేదు. ఎందుకంటే దే డోంట్ థింక్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నార్మల్, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఐ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ ప్రాబ్లం కదా అని. దే ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ టు షో బిఫోర్ ఇట్ బికమ్స్ సంథింగ్ ఎల్స్. బట్ ఆఫ్టర్ ఎ పర్టికులర్ ఏజ్ ఇట్ డజంట్ హ్యాపెన్ లైక్ దట్. అదే డాక్టర్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి, అందుకే రామమ్మ వచ్చిన దగ్గర నుంచి ఏదో చెప్తారు మీరు. దీస్ ఆర్ ద థింగ్స్ విచ్ వీ హియర్.
Very true. Don't you agree, Kada? That's what we all do. I think most of us, at least I should say 100%. All of us do this.
But
Very unfortunate.
Little change, in the 5% change we are seeing anything, but saying that the change is seen only in the urban, only in the people, kids who are studying and I mean working in these things and all. But otherwise, majority are still the same thing that they don't want to go till a problem comes onto their head. And problem అని కూడా వాళ్ళు ఒప్పుకోవాలి, డినైల్ లో ఉండకుండా.
Correct.
అది ఇంపార్టెంట్. అది వాళ్ళకి అది నార్మల్. నార్మలైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద థింగ్, నార్మలైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ పెయిన్, నార్మలైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ బ్లీడింగ్, నార్మలైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఎ మాస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ దోస్ థింగ్ షుడ్ బి ఫస్ట్. ఫెటీగ్ అన్నిటికన్నా ఇంపార్టెంట్. నీరసాన్ని నార్మలైజ్ చేయడం. ప్లీజ్ ఆపండి. నీరసం వస్తుంది, ఫెటీగ్ వస్తుంది అంటే దేర్ ఆర్ థింగ్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ రాంగ్. Either you're bleeding more, that you're anemic, or something is happening in your body which needs supplements. అది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి.
Thank you. Very insightful. And I would like to ask mana educationalist Sita Murthy garu, చిన్నప్పటి నుంచే నేర్పితే ఈ నార్మలైజేషన్ కాకుండా కొంచెం జాగ్రత్తలు తీసుకుంటారంటారా పిల్లలు? అండ్ ఇఫ్ వి స్టార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎ వెరీ యంగ్ ఏజ్, అంటే సే ఫ్రమ్ మేబీ 10 years వాళ్ళకి కొంచెం అవగాహన వస్తుంది టు ద అడాలసెన్స్, బికాస్ స్టిల్ 15, 16, ఆల్మోస్ట్ 17 వరకు ఉంటారు కాబట్టి స్కూల్లో 12th వరకు. సో వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ విల్ రియలీ హెల్ప్ దెమ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్, దేర్ బాడీ, అండ్ టు ఆస్క్ క్వశ్చన్స్? ఫస్ట్ అడగాలి కదా, అమ్మ ఎందుకు ఇలా అవుతుంది, వాట్ డూ ఐ డూ నెక్స్ట్? దాన్ని అన్ని వాట్ వీ నార్మలీ డూ ఇస్ అన్ని వి పుట్ ఇట్ అండర్ ద కార్పెట్ అండ్ కీప్ మూవింగ్ అవే. అలా పుట్టింగ్ అండర్ ద కార్పెట్ కాకుండా వర్బల్ గా చెప్పగలిగే ధైర్యం, how can we give that to the children, and should it start young, and how can schools help?
It's very interesting because where does the school responsibility begin? It's a very, very debatable question, because back then schools were having a very primary objective of delivering education, literacy rather. But then over a period of time, schools have assumed larger responsibility. But before I answer your question, I must tell you something with regard to the theme of this session. Can I too, I can. While sitting here and looking at my old student, Dr. Pranati now, okay, you were in her 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. There was a time when I asked her to anchor a big event in Shilpkala Vedika. This was in her 9th grade, if I'm not mistaken, okay? She would ask me, can I do it, ma'am? Do you think I can do it? And I said, why can't you do it? Of course you can do it. You won't believe that show was one of the best shows that we had. She was the most elegant anchor that we had. And I still can't, I don't think I ever got a wonderful anchor like her in all these years. This was about 18, 17 years back I'm talking about. From can I to I can to what she is today, I think is a great example of what women can do, where they can reach. Very proud of you, Pranati, for that. Now, coming back to what all schools can do with regard to health. First, we begin with self-awareness. Are you aware of your own self, your own feelings, your own emotions? And it begins from the age of 5, not 10.
Okay.
Self-awareness, okay? There are things that you like, that you don't like, you can do, cannot do, your fears, and how do you overcome them? So from self-awareness comes hygiene. At a very young age, health is hygiene primarily. Okay, so hygiene is something that we really focus on, from their meals to managing their toilet habits to things like that. And then when girls and boys are growing up, we look at, do you know that there will be hormonal changes? Do you know that all your behaviors, the erratic changes in your behaviors are probably because of hormonal changes? And then we give them an education, a module by itself, because from menstruation to managing the monthly cycles, it's a huge education. Over a period of time, we also realize that it's not just the girls who need this. Okay, boys also need to be sensitized to the idea that your classmate who was very cheerful yesterday may be very irritable today because of certain bodily challenges that she's going through. So we started educating the boys, making them aware that unlike you, this girl will have many changes that are happening. Okay. But 2 years back, we came up with this problem of educating boys also. It's not just about educating girls. Honestly speaking, Indian fathers don't sit with their adolescent boys to teach about all these bodily changes, because there's a certain element of inhibition, shyness, hesitation about talking about what boys go through. Okay, I asked many of the boys, adolescent, pre-teen, and then teenagers, do you know what's happening to you? Most of them don't know. They don't like to talk about it. They suffer it silently. In fact, girls have more courage to speak about things than boys. So we took up this responsibility last 2 years. We brought in various psychologists and counselors and sometimes doctors and experienced fathers, okay, who are not very hesitant about talking things openly. So we had these very regular sessions with boys. The kind of questions they asked and the kind of fears they had scared me. It really scared me that I think we need more boys' education in this country than girls. Because girls know, in fact, my senior secondary girls, my 12th graders teach the 6th grader about what will happen when you have this and how do you manage it. But my 12th grade boy is shy to talk to my 7th grade boy that puberty could cause these problems. So it is very essential for parents to pick up this education, but schools also have to be very mindful about it. All the unruly behavior is not because it's an attitude. It's because of an inability to handle all the bodily changes and the frustrations that these things cause. So I think personally it's very, very important to teach them about what hormonal changes happen and how do you balance them. I'll tell you with education. Typically, in all schools, we think that when boys are about 12 years, they get very aggressive. They want to punch. All right? Why? Because of these changes, the bodily changes. But how do you moderate it? Just because you know, you don't have to accept it. You can always address it. You can always help them moderate it. Initially, we got a punching bag. Okay, whatever aggression you feel, punch that. But then I realized that we are helping them hone the aggression more than anything. That violence is okay. But then we started engaging them in various physical activities so that they know how to neutralize
Calm down.
the excessive
Channelize
things.
the energy.
So yes, to answer your question, it's extremely important to educate children from a young age about what their body can change into and how they can balance it.
Fantastic. Thank you. Very insightful, because you told about both boys and girls in here, and that's very good. Sridevi garu, చెప్పండి. న్యూట్రిషన్ అన్నది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్, బికాస్ వీఆర్ వాట్ వి ఈట్ అంటాం. మన బాడీ మనం ఏం తింటామో మనం అలాగే కనిపిస్తాం అంటారు. సో అలాంటి తినే పదార్థాలు చిన్న ఏజ్ నుంచే ఇది మంచిది. అమ్మాయిలకి రక్తహీనత ఉంటుంది వెన్ దే హ్యావ్ బ్లీడింగ్ అండ్ ఆల్ దాట్. అయిన తర్వాత ప్రెగ్నెన్సీ అయిన తర్వాత వాళ్ళు అమ్మో జాగ్రత్తగా ఉండాలి, ఇవి తినకూడదు, ఇవి తింటారు అని పెద్దవాళ్ళందరూ మనకు చెప్తూ ఉంటారు. ఇవన్నీ కూడా డూ యూ థింక్ దే హ్యావ్ సైంటిఫిక్ ట్రెడిషనల్ కల్చర్ బిహైండ్ ద న్యూట్రిషన్ along with which India is taking forward for the women? ఎలా అంటారు?
Hi everyone.
Yes, this is good.
Wow, yeah. If you didn't
can.
hear me say that earlier,
can.
yes, we can. Absolutely. Said it's wonderful to be with amazing women here. And I was saying, can I to I can. I think what I've done at Vibrant Living is one of those. When we started Vibrant Living 15 years ago, when I started, it's a plant-based vegan place. Everybody said, "What are you doing in Hyderabad? You're going to give no meat meals? Nobody will come to you. Nobody." And of course, 15 years later, we are still doing the same thing and only with more commitment and growing, because now that more and more people are understanding that it is crucial that we eat foods that are, local and seasonal and loaded with antioxidants and stuff, mainly plant-based foods. So about the kind of nourishment that you need at different stages of life, of a woman's life, yes, there's a lot of misconceptions about that. And I often get question, mother comes with the daughter or the daughter-in-law comes with the mother-in-law. They come and now she's pregnant. Now she's saying that she doesn't want to eat that or she doesn't want to eat this. What should we do? Or a girl who has reached puberty, or girls who are only 8 or 9 years old, reaching puberty, and now they're asking, what should we do about this? It's all related to how we are feeding and how we are eating, to how we are living our lives. It's also the lifestyles. I can't you asked about the food, but I can't isolate food
To lifestyle.
I have to add lifestyles to it. So at different stages of life, we need some nutrients more and some nutrients less. But there's so much information out there and we're all confused. Your grandma or your mom says, don't eat sesame seeds.
In pregnancy especially.
Exactly, right? And I'm saying that's where you get your calcium
Protein.
from and your protein from. And what are you going to do, right? Like you're supposed to. So what is that they should know? Lot of research has been going on in not only Indian studies, but also in Lancet journals, in American medical journals, and the nutrition journals, clinical nutrition and all. There is truth to our traditional wisdom. There is, but there are a lot of misconceptions. Biggest example is dairy. How can one get enough calcium without dairy? How can a nursing mother produce milk without consuming milk herself, right? But the kind of milk that you had back when is very different from the kind of milk that you have now, right?
True.
The girls who are reaching puberty do not have to have milk, and especially because they're consuming too much of dairy. Back when our grandparents' time, we didn't have cheese, we didn't have paneer, right? Maybe in Punjab, where there's so much dairy, to make use of that excess dairy, they may have done it. But Ayurveda doesn't promote dairy. Ayurveda is, the ancient science of medicine, and it doesn't promote dairy, but it promotes buttermilk after churning, because it has gut bacteria. We are living in sync with nature, and that is how we get the microbes that we need to have that symbiotic relationship between the nature to us through those microbiome, through those microbes that come through the milk or the milk product. But over the time, with the change of times and with wealth increasing, there is more of dairy. Your wealth is measured in how many cows or buffaloes you have. So the more cows you have, more buffaloes you have, then you have abundance of dairy, right? The milk. So then you started to make other things. Otherwise, you're raising cows and buffaloes to work on the farm, to help you have that natural lifestyle. That's what is needed to do the farming and to do things. But later it changed, and now you have abundance of milk, and then of course it became a business where milk marketing board and all of that stuff.
Sure.
But you definitely don't need milk to have enough calcium. For example, I was a vegan as a pregnant woman. By default. I was not even a vegan at that time. I was already 37 years old when I was pregnant. That was by choice because I knew I can if it was meant to be.
Mhm.
If it was meant to be, because at the regular age of typical pregnancy, I was not ready. The feeling was not there. My mind was somewhere else. So that time, for some reason, even though I was not a vegan, but the hormones during pregnancy just got me nauseous with non plant-based stuff, and I was a vegan, and I had everything that I needed.
Mm.
And the child had everything. The baby was born 4.5 kilo.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a big baby. So I'm not sending out a message saying that everybody should be a vegan
Mm.
to have a healthy pregnancy, but you should be educated
Mm.
to know that you can thrive on plant-based foods, and you can get your calcium, you can get your magnesium, you will get all the antioxidants, and your body will be in an anti-inflammatory state if you were to have more plant-based foods. So each of these stages, it's kind of difficult to kind of measure how much calcium you're having, how much protein you're having, right? But if you are feeding your children
Mm.
with not ultra processed,
Mm.
with
No packaged food.
yeah,
Simple.
packaged a little processing. Listen, your rava comes in a,
Yeah, that
even
is
your
a-
millet comes in a package, right? At Vibrant Living, our snacks also come in a
Processed.
package.
Processed
is one
food.
thing and
Ultra
this-
processed.
Ultra
There is
processed.
processed. Don't get confused. There is processed. When you do noor kuni, cheruk kuni chesna, the processing,
Process.
right? But ultra processing is what will
Polishing.
throw your polishing,
Mm.
taking away things, adding things to it.
Frozen. Some frozen.
Some kind of frozen stuff, like for example your protein powders.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're taking out that particular nutrient, that right out, and then putting it in another place, and then to stabilize it you're using some other things, and to make it tasty you're using some more things, and to make it sweet you're using something. Adding is not natural, because natural food ages, it oxidizes, it gets bad, the shelf life will be very low. So you're adding things that are done in a lab to put into it, and then when you put that into your body is like, this I don't recognize.
Mm.
It's not food.
Mm.
It's something else. I don't know what to do with it. And when you don't know what to do with your body, like your body doesn't know, that's when it's overworking.
Mm.
It stays as toxins, and it increases inflammation in the body, because you have foreign objects into your body, and your body's natural, natural system, immune system doesn't know what to do with it. So that's a trouble. So the answer to your question is, just give natural foods that are in season, in the most natural form that is tasty. That's where the challenge comes. It's like, eat this fruit. They'll be like, oh, I'm so bored. Eat nuts.
Mhm.
Oh, they're good for you. They have omega oils. They're good for your brain. They're good for this. Oh, immunity. Is like, I'm so bored, especially on top of that, you're soaking and giving it, right? Children won't like it, and we also don't like it. For exactly that reason, I am doing what I'm doing here to make things tasty, make natural food tasty. How many of you know that I have a YouTube channel and I do all kinds of recipes in it? Okay. So those of you who don't know, there is a channel called Vibrant Living. That's the firm that I run. There are a lot of recipes on our YouTube channel that you'll be surprised. So easy to make, and you'd be shocked that they're so tasty. And this is, your grandmas will approve of it. That's the whole thing. This is not like a diet, right? And your children will love it, and you don't have to worry about what nutrient, when to eat. Okay? When you have that kind of stuff, you won't have conflict with our grandmas and mothers also. They'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, my grandma used to give me this
Yeah.
nuvulunda, chimili. How you can
All
eat
it
it.
is good as long as we don't have to make it. The problem comes
Manchula.
with that is making.
Manchula. We are here to make it for
That's
you.
the thing.
See,
That's the
yeah. So there is no conflict in traditional wisdom to modern science. literally, if you look at it thoroughly. There is no conflict. It's going in the same direction. In between, there was a conflict, but now the science is going back to roots, back to traditional wisdom.
Nice, thank you. Okay, Manjula Garu, doctor, tell me that why are doctors bad patients? Why are doctors bad patients? Why are nurses bad
Yes,
patients?
all of them are. Okay. So we have two extremes of doctors actually. One is self-diagnosing doctors. For everything they start diagnosing and they get very paranoid and everything. What we call as medical student syndrome, especially when we're studying medicine. That's when everybody is like, oh, even I have this problem. When we read something, we start looking at it. But second, which is very common once you start practicing, is denial. I cannot have it. I don't have it. You are diabetic, please don't take, nakem avadu, nakedi avadu. I mean, that's first thing which we have. Second is all of us are so busy that we are the last people to get a master health checkup done.
There I have a point.
So we are very busy and we start ignoring our symptoms, ignoring ourselves. Like I have known of a doctor who started getting examined for even vitamin D after the fractures, multiple fractures they had. Because morning 6:30 he would go, he was, I think, cardiologist, so he would go unto the thing morning 6:30. He would only come out only when after sun sets. So he would enter before the sun rises and he would come out only after sunset. So he was never exposed to any sun or anything till that time. And he refused to believe that how can I have such less vitamin D? How can I have these multiple fractures? So first is denial, second is too busy thing. Third would be the vulnerability nobody wants to say. Nobody wants to feel that we are vulnerable to something. We don't want to show the vulnerability. Because we don't want to be judged, especially when it comes to mental issues. We don't want to be judged. Okay, if I tell I have this sickness, probably my patients will stop coming. Probably my referral doctors will stop sending out, the doctor is always sick. Probably these are all some things which go into the mind of the thing. Finally, I think we don't listen to other doctors who gives order to us. We are like, we know everything. Why should we listen to that? So sticking to the treatment, like you take this for 10 days. Oh, I'm fine. I can stop it after some time. See, there are so many reasons why doctors are bad patients. Yes, they are bad patients. I have to agree. So when they come, because when we write certain examinations, we write for a particular thing. Regular patient gets it done. They come to us, we say, Seema, I need one scan, I need one TSH, one thing. Oh, scan will be normal, madam, so it's okay. It's okay, let me first have a documentation there. Please get it done and come. So they just don't want to do anything because first, like I said, denial is the first thing which they have to first ignore that. And nowadays, more and more doctors we are seeing having sudden heart attacks and deaths, especially in 30s and 40s. Which is very shocking. That is because of their lifestyle. We tell everybody about lifestyle. Even Sridevi was talking, even Sita was talking about how we have to educate people about everything. But we don't have time to do exercises. Nowadays, again, there are two extremes. There are people who are behind this gym and then do extreme also, but that percentage is very, very less. They want to be fit. That is one thing. But majority of the doctors do not do anything for exercise. Second, majority of doctors, because they're too busy, eat junk food. And when they have the meal timings are not right.
Steady.
We are
Obviously,
busy, so 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, whatever is there, we just eat off. Okay, we don't have time and we don't have people who feed us.
I know.
So something which is very important. But
Self-care.
And we don't, by the time we reach home, who is going to cook and then again do it? So that's the point with that. So unhealthy food. Then we talk about pollution, which is there for everybody. Then when we talk about meditation, exercise, and we talk about de-stressing. Now we live a life of stress because we just don't take our own stress. We take the stress of the patient also onto us. The empathetic doctors are what we are talking about.
Right.
And empathy is the most essential thing for being a good doctor. But when we have empathy, it is like psychosomatic disorder. It starts affecting us. And that's when we start feeling for the patient. So that adds to the stress of whatever stress we already have. Because we are result oriented. We want the patient, see how effectively we have done is one thing. How effectively the patient has symptomatically improved is one thing. You might do everything onto the paper just like that.
Right.
But somebody improves very well, somebody doesn't improve because each Each human being is different. The way they react is different. Same multivitamin might do good to somebody, might not do something for them. So then they start coming and complaining. Then we are like, we look at so many other things, how to do, what to do. That all the stress starts coming. So we are living in a life of full stress, morning to evening. If we see 50 patients, 50 added stress onto us because they expect us to give solutions to
Correct.
us. Our own stress to that. Then our family stress. We have to look at again children. We have to look at how they are going to come up in life, what we are going to do. Again, societal norms of what doctors' children are supposed to be, and us quality of life we are supposed to live. And our car has to be like this. Our house is supposed to be like that. Financial stress. So all the stress all added up. Okay, whatever said and
Society.
done. Societal norms. So stress is too much. Then we are hardly actually doing any exercise. I'm the greatest example of not doing any exercise. So whatever said and done, when we say we need, especially women after menopause should be doing 3 times a day, 30 minutes of walk, it's very easy to tell. But when it comes to doing it, I'm not very sure any doctor does it. They're really bad patients.
Yeah, what do you think we should be doing? Because we are here in a hospital today talking
I
about.
feel the solution is having a girl gang.
Yeah.
All of you should have a groups where together we should do. Together we can. Together have a thing that this week, this day we have to do this and do it. But again,
But the doctors won't
vulnerability,
have time for
vulnerability.
that.
Time is still okay. Like I don't practice after 5. Again, everybody, one thing I've been noticing is people always think, oh, doctors are very busy. So they ignore us. So when you're free, we're actually a loner sitting at home doing something. I want to go, but they didn't call us. So what to do? So I think this is things which people
So
have to
probably you should
understand.
have
So
to
you
never called
can,
me.
so you can
You've
just
never
call
called
and
me.
say, I'm coming.
I'm coming. I
You
know.
can.
No, probably you can have this corporate structure, Andy, where corporate women, how they're told that they have to have an annual checkup done.
Yes.
I think all the hospitals should also say all the doctors to have mandatory. All of doctors
That
should
is
get
done for
checkup
nurses,
done.
that is done for everybody else, but not for doctors.
How? We should work on this. I think that's a point to be
They don't
noted.
take it because they don't want to order a doctor because again, doctor gets angry, then what? You know,
No,
they're the-
they won't.
that's the
I'm sure that'll be a welcome. I think this is a point to be noted and worked on. Now, Sita garu, tell me that మనం ఆల్రెడీ మాట్లాడుకున్నాం కాబట్టి ఆన్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పార్ట్ ఇప్పుడు చిల్డ్రన్ లో చూస్తే హౌ వుడ్ దే నోటీస్ దట్ అరే అమ్మ కూడా పనిచేసి వచ్చింది అలసిపోయి వచ్చింది పాపం మేబీ షీఈ్ నాట్ వెల్ అయ్యో నాన్న కూడా వచ్చారు మేబీ షీఈ్ నాట్ హీఈస్ నాట్ వెల్ why don't I help them? Or why don't I take her or suggest her that, Amma, why don't you go to a hospital or get checked up? Or did you eat good food? సరిగా తిన్నావా నువ్వు మంచినీళ్ళు ఇవ్వడం ఇలాంటి చిన్న చిన్నవి కూడా ఒకవేళ పిల్లలకి నేర్పిస్తే ఐ థింక్ దట్ విల్ బి ఎ గ్రేటర్ హెల్ప్ టు ద పేరెంట్ హూస్ వర్కింగ్ ఆల్ డే అండ్ కమింగ్ బ్యాక్ హోమ్. అండ్ హౌ కెన్ వి గెట్ దిస్ సెన్సిబిలిటీ అండ్ సెన్సిటివిటీ ఇన్ ద చిల్డ్రన్ ఫ్రమ్ వెరీ యంగ్ ఏజ్? బికాజ్ నేను ఒకసారి చైనా జపాన్ ట్రావెల్ చేసినప్పుడు పిల్లలు ఎంత బాగా అంటే అమ్మ నాన్నకు అన్ని చేస్తారు వాళ్ళు. ఇంట్లో వచ్చేసరికి కూరగాయలు కూడా కట్ చేసి అన్ని పెట్టి రెడీగా కూర్చొని చదువుకుంటూ ఉంటారు. అది లైక్ సర్ప్రైజ్, ఓహో అంత బాగా చేస్తారు పిల్లలు, మేము ఇక్కడ పాడు చేసేస్తామేమో అని కూడా అనిపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది మనం. ఐఎమ్ సారీ.
No, I'm curious to know what you're going to say. My initial reaction is, why are you putting that on schools and the teachers? What about parents? Why didn't
know.
they
No,
teach
it's
the,
both ways.
Why didn't the parents teach
No,
the
it's
kids?
both ways.
No,
That's why
please
I
don't.
told what's my
Yeah.
mistake. నా mistake కూడా చెప్పాను. But that's మేమే పాడు చేసామా, and how
Yeah.
do we inculcate it in students is
So sometimes parents
Just
don't want
asking
to
for help,
be the person to
basically.
tell because they want somebody else to tell.
Yeah.
The third person telling is much more easier. They don't want the rift between the child and the mother. So sometimes it is always better for somebody else to tell.
Yeah, that would be the school.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
go. Do it.
because teachers are always right. Even if 2 + 2 is 6,
I
teachers are.
agree. The child will always say, my teacher told them.
I'm not sure. Is this working?
Yeah, it is.
Before answering that question,
G.
I wish you had asked me a question on. You asked her how are doctors as patients. Ask me how are doctors as parents. I'll tell you. Just this morning, I was addressing this issue.
Uh-huh.
So I have this young pediatrician, very lovely lady, okay, whose son is in about pre-primary right now. She imagines that this child has every problem possible.
I told you, no. I have
Okay.
told you, no. So
Because
two
she's so
extremes.
highly
Doctors are-
educated. She's so highly educated about all kinds of things that could happen to a child. She sees her child with that lens.
Microscope.
Okay, from ADHD to the eyesight to everything has been checked. We are very happy with the child. The child is absolutely normal, happy child, responsive, but the parent is not because
She has ADHD.
Actually, I have another couple, both are doctors, okay, and their child, he's about 10 years, 11 years old now. I know in the last 5-6 years that he's been in the school, he went through every diagnostic test possible. Because the background of it is, because the parents are busy, the child is being taken care of by the grandparents, okay? There is overindulgence there. Now the child loves the attention he gets, okay? He doesn't get it at all times. When he doesn't get it at all times, he has a stomachache, he has a headache. And the moment there's a headache, the father gets paranoid. The moment there's a stomachache, the mother gets paranoid. And we try to console them, we try to counsel them, but no. Okay, so doctors as parents need a different workshop altogether.
Again, I say you will have child's denial and you will have overindulgence. Two extremes.
Okay.
He will be imagining everything. Yeah.
Seriously. And to answer to the other actual question that you asked me, just yesterday I was sharing this, I was doing a workshop with my leadership team. I have a picture of this which I had taken from a conference that I was attending last week at Delhi. So the picture is, you have the anatomy of a body, of a human being, 2 pictures. The left side picture says, according to the West, in the medical lens, according to the West, the body is a machine.
Oh.
Okay.
According to the eastern part of the world, the body is a garden. Okay? Body is a machine according to the West, Western medicine. Eastern medicine, body is a garden. Okay? Why, as an educationist, I'm bringing that? This was brought up in the context of educational reference, where do we look at the child's math, English, social science, or do we look at the child's happiness quotient, the value quotient, the social quotient? What do we look at?
And overall.
So what do we look at? So from there, if I have to answer your question, for me, it's very important that the child relates to the parents. The parents relate to the child beyond the transaction of what did he learn today, which competition did he win, okay, what prizes is he getting, what competitive exam he should prepare for. It's a very transactional parenting. But if the ideal situation that you're talking about, and thanks to her, she also brought it up, why should only school do all this?
True.
Why are parents becoming so transactional? They're not becoming relational anymore. Unlike my generation or your generation when you brought up children, the current generation of parents, for them everything is transactional. Has he gone to the swimming class? It's a checklist. Football, violin.
West is worse.
Okay,
Indian
tennis.
parents in the West are the worst.
Even in India now, even in Hyderabad, the mother is always taking the child to some coaching class or the other. Even if the child wants to say, Mommy, shall I get something for you? Some coffee, tea, water? Don't waste your time, go do your math. Okay, so
Totally.
the parents are not expecting the child to look after them. The parents' expectation is all about marks. But I think in our school, we I'm sure my student is here, ex-parent is here. Everybody will say that this is the first thing we focus on, that, you being a child in the family does not give you a right to demand for things. It is not an entitlement that I need to get this, I need to ask for this. You need to be as responsible as your parents in the family for the family to be a happy family. Everybody looks after everybody. And that's the kind of environment, even if your parents are busy, you can create it. Doesn't mean only when you grow up that you will support your parents. Even now at the age of 5 or 7 or 10 or 18, you can look after your parents. It's the way you relate to them. It's the way you take care of them. From insisting that your parents should wear a seat belt or a helmet to everything, or offering a glass of water. Offering a glass of water is an age-old tradition in Indian subcontinent because of the weather we have. It is hot. When people come home, you need to hydrate them. This is a basic custom that we have in our Indian households. That is something we insist upon in our children, that do that. Ask them, how was your day today? It's not that you wait for your mother to ask you how many marks you got. You ask, Mummy, did you enjoy your day today? From there comes, when your mother is unwell, just like she takes care of you, you need to take care of her. Okay? Nobody says that I am 5, so I need to be looked after. No, you're 5, you can look after your mother. So I think the sensitization or responsibility is also family responsibility, but it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
So all of us in the society, people, everybody has to come together if we want a beautiful society with good people in it. School definitely has a huge responsibility.
I have a question, 2 points.
Okay.
Question to all of you actually. Why is it, after listening to what Mrs. Sweeta has to say, why is it that parents who are not allowing the kid to do anything and everything, and finally, suddenly they say that my son is not taking care of me, my daughter is not taking care of me. Suddenly they expect them to change and start being so much of overly this thing about empathetic about that. Is it right? So it is the fault again of the parents that they did not sensitize them that this is the way it has to be.
It's totally the parents' fault. It's 100% parents' fault.
So again, my
Yeah.
second point. So now I hope all of you understand that raise your sons and daughters in such a way that they are responsible kids. That is what I believe in totally. The
Love
second thing, what my point is, why are we looking at human body, whether it is machine or garden is not what I'm saying. It is science. And science is totally different from maths. What is 1 + 1 in maths? Simple answer, yeah?
2.
2, right? I don't want all complex answers. 2, right? But in science, if 1 + 1, if condom is not used, is 3. Yes. So then why are we getting confused with things? Science is totally different. Human being is different. Human mind is different. Everything is different. Please don't treat people as maths.
Yeah. Yeah, that is
Fantastic.
true.
That's true.
That is
and I
true.
also believe that seeing is observing and observing.
Yes.
So I think when they
It's,
see the parents do themselves, and then kids will absorb it, and they're seeing it doing.
That's
That's also true.
exactly.
If parents
that's
don't take care of their parents, you cannot expect your kid to take care of you.
And if you don't take care of yourself,
Yes.
your
They
kids are not
also-
going to take care of themselves.
True,
And
totally.
when they can't take care of themselves, there's nothing to take care of others.
Yeah,
So you
that's
don't have the power to do it.
So now that you said that, Sridev Garu, tell me, when do you get your health checkup done? Do you get it done yearly?
Why you had to ask me that question? Yeah.
Healthpreneur kada, Hari.
No,
We're all
until-
about prevention, you know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not ideal for that. I have to admit, I do have a problem going for checkups. I do.
Why?
Why?
Why is
One,
this?
okay. Really? No.
No.
How do
That
we
comes
know?
only
How do you know
afterwards.
what I need or
Yeah.
not need? But, okay, some
Ignorance
kind
is
of a
not bliss.
phobia, some
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
a
that's a
phobia
state of
that I've
fear.
had always.
Fear.
Earlier hospitals, I didn't like the smell of the hospitals.
This
I'm a
is
little
like home.
exactly nowadays that's not the point. Now I got so mature that I think that my body speaks to me. I'm just I don't know.
No,
I'm
no.
wrong. I
No.
don't go for testing often
Prevention
enough.
is not about speaking after a disease comes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay, I do everything to help myself not to be sick. But that doesn't tell me
Yes.
that I don't carry some genes or I don't know, right? So for that reason, I also had a nice wake up call when I turned 50. Yeah. I've not taken medicines. I went through 40 hours of labor and had natural birth. I'm like one opposite, like I do without knowing and having all the respect for doctors and the science behind the medicines. I know that they are so powerful and it's magical when you need it and how they work. I'm aware of that. And I've seen that magic happen on people. Even on myself, when I had fever, that I was like delusional. One Tylenol, just half an hour later, I was a new
Fine.
person. I'm like, whoa, that much difference it can make, But still, I try to stay away. But I got an awakening at the age of 50, and I suddenly got like pains all over my body. And
Wow.
until then, I thought, also, giving natural birth at the age of 38, I really thought I was superwoman, and not getting sick generally, I thought. But then apparently I have rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, had I gone for testing, maybe I would have known it before, but I got to know then, and immediately I used what I knew, the food wisdom and lifestyle wisdom, and I worked myself out. But that also made me realize that things could be creeping up inside, because I had no symptoms of arthritis until then, right? And then it came out. So it is important to go get tested. Having said that, I do go for my B12 and vitamin D. As a nutritionist and as a counselor, I need to know what I'm preaching is actually working for people and working for me. So I do get my B12 and D tested, and I'm in good levels. And when I'm not having vitamin D enough, I take supplements partially. But so I am wrong at not taking going for testing done, but I do everything to help myself not be sick. Like today, I'm fasting. I believe in fasting, believe in eating all kinds of foods. People say, gut health. We all know doctors. We all talk about gut health, right? How do you have good gut health? There's not just good food. We need to have diversity in food so that we have diversity in microbiome in our gut. So knowing the science and understanding how food and lifestyles work, I do that on myself. So I'm pushing and procrastinating on my testing. But to those who are watching, it is a good measure to get tested and then come to people like me to help you have good lifestyles and get rid of if there are any problems, so that you don't have to deal worse situations in the future. Yeah, and I do also have a little fear, like Dr. Manjula said, that maybe some unnecessary things will pop out, like going for Jyotishkudu, Sorry,
I know, I agree,
Jyotishkam is like way off
We
from
don't know
medical
astrology,
test.
yeah? We really don't know
అదే
astrology.
astrology and Jyotishkam is like ఎందుకు వెళ్ళాలి అక్కడ ఏదో చెప్తారు మళ్ళీ అవన్నీ కెలుపుతా
పూజలు,
ఉంటాయి మళ్ళీ
మందులు.
కెలుపుతా ఉంటాయి వద్దు దూరంగా ఉండండి అన్నట్టు సేమ్ థింగ్ ఇట్స్ లైక్ మందులు ఏమి ఇస్తారో మళ్ళీ నాకు ఏం బయట పడుతుందో నాకు body speaks to me kada, am I sleeping well, am I going to the toilet well, is my stool quality good? Sorry for all these details.
No, that is important.
Yeah, and how is your skin? Are you having rashes? How are you digesting your food? Are you having burps? Are you having indigestion, bloating? These are the markers for me, how you are doing. And if they're checking fine, I feel I'm okay. So I'm not going, but Manjula, I'll come sometimes.
You need to come. I need to add two things. One thing is we cannot change the world we live in. We
Yeah.
can change everything else. So like we said, the pollution doesn't change.
I was going to say, I can't control the pollution.
Yeah, all those things do not change.
Yeah.
And pollution leads to endocrine disrupting chemicals, which are really going to be a huge reason why hypothyroidism, diabetes, endometriosis, PCOS have increased. So it's about prevention. Saying that, because you told about certain thing, I want to have a clarity for all of you about three things. We need to understand the difference between medicines, supplements and replacements. Please understand that. Medicine is, you have a disease, you take it for that particular time. She has fever, she takes Dolo, fine. You have respiratory infection, take it for 5 days, fine. That's it. As long as you have a disease. Supplements are which are not produced by body, but which your body needs it. Either by diet or something, and you are not taking it, you have deficiencies, you take it. That is supplement. It is not being produced by the body. So if it's B12 deficiency, you take it. If your diet is not supplying, take extra supplement medicine. Calcium deficiency, take it. That is supplement for 3 months, for 4 months, for 6 months.
Right.
Now, third thing which is important is replacement. What is replacement? Is your body is supposed to produce them. Like diabetes, you have insulin which is supposed to be produced. Thyroid, your thyroid which is supposed to produce. Ovaries are supposed to produce estrogen. If there is decreased production, you need to replace it. Like salt in a curry. You make a salt, you make a curry. There is no salt, you cannot survive. You have more salt, it will lead to hypertension. No salt leads to electrolyte imbalance. You need to have two tastes. So your hormones should be two tastes in your body to function, including your nail to your hair needs the hormones. So you have thyroid deficiency, you need to take thyroid only. You cannot say annam binnam chesi. No, you cannot eat something else, it will not give thyroid.
True.
You have thyroid deficiency, thyroid. You have diabetes, it can be insulin or insulin sensitizers, like that. If you understand the difference, then it will be easy for you to take the management given by your doctor well.
That's true.
Clarity.
That's true. And one thing, because మీరు మాట్లాడారు కాబట్టి మంచుల గారు, tell me one thing that ఒక ఏదైనా ఒక ఏజ్ వచ్చింది, ఏ ఏజ్ నుంచి do you think that regularly women have to go for a checkup? What is the age and what do you mention?
Everything depends on, we divide a woman's life into adolescent age, reproductive age group, and menopausal age. So
Okay.
3 different phases of life is what we talk. Nowadays we are seeing precocious puberties because of, again, dilution, pollution, diet we eat, couch potatoes, no exercises, nothing. No PT classes also, because from 5th class they want their children to be IPS, IAS, doctors and IITNs. So they don't have time for exercise at all. So then they start coming. What I tell people is that మీకు ఎవ్వరికి టైం ఉండదు, but children wants that break in their studies also. So 15 minutes, let them go into the room or outside, some 3 tapori dances and dance. That is good enough physical exercise which a kid needs at that age.
Dance.
The second, dance.
Physical exercise.
Every muscle should contract.
Perfect.
That is important. The second thing which is very important, if they have precocious puberty, then we will give something and all. But otherwise, pubertal age group, if everything goes smoothly, we don't unnecessarily do anything for them. But if they are having irregular periods or pain, or if they have fatigue and more bleeding and then we do a complete blood picture of thyroid, because thyroid is like demand and supply. Your body suddenly grows, your thyroid might not be producing as much as it needs to be, and afterwards it can again become normal also.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. This is something which
It can
people
go
have
reversal.
to understand. People have to understand that once we take it, we get used to it. There's nothing like getting used to it. It is a need and supply. So your body needs it for that particular day. What I don't understand is, why are we not talking about body getting used to food? We take it till we die. We never ask, alvaatu ayipotundi annam tinta manestam. No, nobody tells that. We want different varieties.
Yeah.
Especially if she makes it tasty. So there is nothing like, what is the need? Our body needs 3 times a day food. Our body needs once a day thyroid. Our body needs whatever we need about it. We should be doing it accordingly. Then saying that when it comes to the reproductive age group, that's where we do most of the checkups. You know, we talk about people getting dental checkups also and eye checkups also. And if the periods are irregular, the hormonal checkups, because nowadays people want to get married late. They want to know about their ovarian function, and they want to know about the capacity, how long they have before the biological clock is ticking. So we need an ultrasound pelvis. We do at FSH, LH, depending on the second day of the period, thyroid, and the complete blood picture. Not many. These are very important. Then if we see something, then we go to the next of the test.
next level, yeah.
Pap smear is mandatory once the sexual life starts, is what we do. But otherwise, in Western world, they don't ask about sexual life, then we start from 14 years.
14
But here, we are very skeptical about parents killing us. If we start telling 14 years, go start doing pap smears, they'll kill us. That is the word I would say. So, but vaccination, 10 years, that only is the biggest headache, you know. When we talk vaccination, Gardasil vaccine has to be given at 10 years. Why are you giving it 10 years? So schools are very important for us in explaining that HPV vaccination should be given at 10 to 12 years. It's only 2 doses, and now we are looking at 1 dose at least. Government is trying to take an initiative to give it free. I don't think it will ever come back to free. But
Yeah,
anyway,
it was a
parents
big,
have to
big
give
thing,
it.
yeah.
So these are few things which we tell. But again, if a woman wants to become pregnant, the type of test we do is different. Women having pain during period and the scan has showed endometriosis, the tests are different. But mandatorily, what we need after 30 years would be self-breast examination. At 30, please meet a doctor and have a doctor's
Mammogram.
examination. Before that, please self-breast examination. At 40, do a mammogram. But in between, when you are doing your self-breast examination and the doctor examines you once in a year, if there is something found, your mammogram can be before that also. But as a rule, self-breast examination before 30, from 30, doctor examining you once in a year at least. After 40, mammogram. Pap smear every year. If the same partner is there three times every year, and then you can make it once in 3 years. But saying that today we can only trust ourselves, we cannot trust anybody in the world, so I would advise every woman to get it done every year. And I'm not being cynical or anything, that this is just the rule of life, that's it. So the next thing would be around perimenopause, mandatorily we do a scan, ultrasound pelvis, and perimenopausal we look at bone health. So we look at bone mineral density, how it is. Where post-menopause, we have to do bone mineral density. If it is low, we give supplements or whatever to make the bones strengthy. Then again mammogram, again pap smear, again ultrasound pelvis. But once the menopause starts coming, we look at LFTs. We also look at lipid profiles. We should not forget the other organs are not there in the woman. They are all there. So we should look at all those things also. After perimenopause, definitely eye checkup, dental checkup are also mandatory. So these are all the things which we do. And apart from, people are more scared about heart. People think they can only die because of heart attack and heart. So ECG is something which we do as a routine. But most of the time till menopause, usually women do not have. But in recent times, we've been seeing young women also getting heart attacks. We really don't know. Here, I'm taking this forum to say that there are two things which have caused increased rise of the heart attacks having in the woman. One, diet, which I'm not talking about, or stress, which I'm not talking about. But yes, COVID and post-COVID increased clotting things have caused. Second, drugs, substance abuse. That is the word I'm supposed to use. I'm sorry. So substance abuse has increased. And that is one of the reasons why MIs are seen in a younger woman whom we never used to see before menopause before. So it is a reality, substance abuse. So we should talk about that also. We should not ignore, like putting everything under the carpet.
Under the carpet.
No.
Sure.
Smoking, increased risk of clotting. Smoking plus oral contraceptive pills, increased risk of clotting. Oral contraceptive plus smoking plus substance abuse, increased risk of heart attacks. Plus obesity, more added.
Alcohol.
Plus stress. Alcohol is little down the line, but this is the thing. Then stress, again the thing. Then alcohol. So nowadays women are having 6'5". Why young women are having heart attacks? People will say, "Oh, she's only 38. She had a heart attack. Or your kid is only 7, 8 years. Think of them. You're leaving them as orphans there." We need to understand. I truly believe mother is the major support for a child. I'm not saying, I'm not undermining any man or a father or anything, but the support a mother can give to a child when they're growing up years, I'm sure man can do after they grow up, but not in the growing up years. The girl even a boy finds it more easy to talk to a mother than to a father, which I have seen.
True, I agree. Totally agree. Being a mom of 2 boys, I
You
do
know
it
that-
myself
yes.
because my husband is an army officer who's never there. So I do everything to my teen kids. So I understand it. No, fine. Now that we have this discussion, one thing I understand is that we always neglect ourselves. Again, the same thing. And we think that we are fine because our body is not hinting us. The body is not giving us any, symptoms, or it's not addressing us. So still we need to get it done is what our doctors are saying. I have to ask all my audience today, do you have any questions? Meek emna questions unnaya? Because we have a nutritionist, we have an educationalist, and we have a doctor.
I'm 52 now. At 49, I was feeling great. 50, I was fine.
Biological clock.
And I guess I have all the problems today when it comes to bone health, strength, and everything. So my question is supplements the way out, or still nutrition
Everything.
can help getting into a better...
How about both?
Both, that's what. Everything. Let me add to this thing. After particular age, there is something called aging. Aging is there for every tissue. Even your gut ages. So absorption also becomes an issue. So we need to understand you might have to do supplements plus the diet. Because especially with B12, let me tell you one thing. Why do we always talk vegetarians will have B12 deficiency? Because we do know that B12 is something which is there only in particular meat products. So people who don't take that, we give supplement form in B12, right? So like that, and in the gut, there's only one particular area in the ileum where B12 gets absorbed, not in the whole gut. And then also there should be an intrinsic factor which should be there, then only it gets absorbed. So it's all intricate. So don't ever become, mind blocks should not be there in when we say, you might need supplements, you might need diet. Plus, you might need some factor, cofactor to help get absorbed. Like for example, vitamin D is the vehicle, calcium is the mineral, right? Bone is the one where the calcium has to go. You're not giving calcium into the bone, right? You have to take orally, and you should have adequate vitamin D to take the calcium, and you should have adequate estrogen to take the calcium and vitamin D to the bone.
To
Right?
absorb.
Yeah, absorb and take it to the
Absorbing.
bone, into the blood and blood to the bone. So please don't think we know everything, we will do only this. No, please respect science and your body and listen to your doctor, listen to your nutritionist, everything should be done.
So the solution doesn't lie in one thing.
Yes.
It's a holistic approach that you need to take. It's not just in the supplement or in the diet or just de-stressing.
Yeah.
For example, B12, right? You need, for a vegan, where do you get B12
Yes, you
from?
don't.
Right? But you do. But you do. For example, I've not taken a supplement for years, but I do have B12 enough. I did have deficiency earlier, but you know what? When you start being close to nature, you garden, you have pets,
Yeah.
staying close to nature will give you a lot of benefits. I'm not staying in the nature or doing
No, but then
gardening to get
eco-
B12.
this
That's
thing is
because
that-
I want to get
Yeah.
sun in the morning. I want to catch the morning time, the birds, and then want to grow something for the quality of food that I want to have. I feel all that come together because you're multitasking basically. You're de-stressing, you're getting
Even the brown
B-
rice,
D-
if you have all the
B12.
vitamins.
Exactly. So there's so much that you can do.
Because you asked about bone health, I'll give you an example. Bone is this. You want it to be like teak wood or you want it to be beautiful like bamboo shoot. Bamboo is very beautiful, but it is kokla from inside. Whereas teak is the strength, right? So for bamboo to become like a teak, you need calcium, you need something to take it there. Plus you need something which will stop attrition. After a particular age, bone starts getting attritic. So depending on the need and like I said, I told bone mineral density very clearly. You check your bone mineral density, then you might need something to stop the attrition. You might need something to fill into it. It is a personalized care.
So get your total health checkup done today.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I am Namita. I am currently doing my masters. I'm studying. I'm interning here with the branding team. So one simple question I would like to ask y'all is, how do y'all maintain your individuality with the societal standards? Because the position that y'all are in
Very
is
good.
actually very inspiring to be at.
Very
And,
good
yeah.
question. I think
Stay
that-
true
very
to
good
yourself.
question.
Stay true to yourself and do spend your time doing things that naturally makes you happy. Don't worry about what it will bring later or the societal,
Yeah.
place or the monies. I mean, I can, unless you don't have anything, I mean, that's another story. But everyone here, do what makes you happy and you will have the best place, you will be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not
So-
compare with others.
To-
See, each one of us have our own individuality and also the innate skill. You have a purpose. You're doing this work in nutrition and the clean food and lifestyles and all. But I don't know what I like. I don't know what I am. I don't know what it is. But you know that you want to be happy, right? And taking care of yourself is a purpose in itself.
So
Perfect.
be yourself, believe in yourself. You said societal thing. So first thing is stop thinking about it. Okay, what you want to do, please do it. Okay, so first stop worrying about what. Put your foot on if you think something is wrong, something is right. And I also truly believe that if your purpose, what she has said, and your passion and your profession are same, there is no boundary which you cannot touch.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think I agree with both of them. It can't be better said than this. The social constructs, the so-called societal norms that you're talking about, norms are very relative. They change from time to time.
Yes.
There was a time that women didn't move out of the house after 5 o'clock, but now you go at 5 o'clock to work. Okay? So the norms are very relative, but the social constructs that have been passed down to us from generations, you need to question them, you need to reflect on them. At the end of it, it's your conscience that tells you what is right and what is wrong. Do that. I don't think any of us worked to reach here. We just worked because we liked what we did.
Yeah.
Ah.
And that's how you reach somewhere.
Passion.
That's
Passion,
it.
absolutely.
What's that one mindset shift that helped you grow personally or professionally and that you would like to suggest?
So it's the mindset shift.
Mindset.
When did you think you're
So when I realized that what I know is useful for others, I never grew up thinking that I want to do something for others. Sorry. But I don't know, I didn't have aspirations. It's a simple thing. I want to be happy and not doing things for myself. And then when I realized that what I've learned, because I like to learn that, or I like to spend time doing that, I just was fortunate to be able to do that. And then at one point I realized, oh, what I know, what I can offer is useful for others. So, and let me do that. And then when I started doing that, it really made me happy. I never knew that I could be happy in that way. It's your happiness depends on making others
happy?
have better life.
There is a certain philosophical way of accepting the world around you and still carving out your own space because you have to decide what you want to do. The whole world will act against you also. But still, if you choose your response because you have the ability to choose it, then you are under the control of, the situation is in your control. Okay? So for me, my response ability, how I choose to respond in any situation, actually gave me a lot of confidence and a lot of positive mindset that it could be the worst scenario there, but how I react to it makes all the difference to me.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
something I'd like to share.
I was actually thinking of how would you like have like a kids-free meal or something like how you would have in a McD, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that could be, I know it's
Tastier,
It
more
works.
tastier.
Yeah, tasty.
More
it's
tastier.
more tastier and like if you say maybe kids
Change.
eat free,
Change also.
so
Yeah.
you even see parents bringing over the kids over there because I
Yeah.
insist on my kids coming over there to buy the produce.
Okay.
So they come and I try to include a meal with it. So we
Yeah.
tell them like one meal you have to eat it in Sage or Vibrant once every 2 months to at least get it into them to be healthy, conscious.
Yeah.
But they're like, no one eats. How would I tell my friend that you would go to Vibrant and
So
eat?
again,
and-
society.
Oh God. Oh
Peer
God.
pressure.
It's actually very tasty. It's actually very tasty.
And you won't want to have a birthday party in Vibrant, but you would want to have it in McD or you could have it in a pizza place, right? Yeah.
I know.
So-
So I have a suggestion. Never use those bad words. Healthy,
I know.
nutritious.
Bad words.
The bad
These are
words.
bad
For
words
kids, they are
for
the bad
children.
words. I
So
also tell
don't
people,
use
no,
them.
Don't tell me tasty. Don't tell me healthy. Tell me
Healthy.
tasty.
Don't
Tasty.
use that word at all, literally, even to ourselves. It's the joy that we should get from food. You know, the look of it, the smell of it, and then the taste of it, and when you're making the joy of it, the creating part. So if you inculcate that kind of message into children's mind at early age, they will by default choose that. And then they will connect their feeling to what they eat. So that kind of observations on yourself will go to your children as well. And then you bring them to classes like this, and then they're like set for life.
It's reverse
This
engineering.
actually are you. Yes, ma.
What is your take on the menstrual cups? Because I know
That
from-
is the thing I keep on
Yeah.
promoting. There are two
Oh,
things
you
which I have to
promote.
tell.
Okay, yes.
See, my campaign which started
It's so
is
good.
no pop.
Okay.
No pop means no plastics over privates.
Okay.
That is the main thing. It might be menstrual cup, it can be organic sanitary napkins, it can be a cloth one, whatever it is, or period panty. But definitely no plastics over privates. So I want all of you to please promote no pop so that people understand that the plastics are the reason why endometrial cancers, endometritis, endometriosis, and PCOS, adenomyosis, and fibroids have increased in the last 2 decades.
Okay.
So no pop, please.
Yeah. And actually, menstrual cup, once you start knowing how to use it, it's the very easiest thing to do
Best thing.
and the best thing to
So
do.
Cost
eco-friendly,
effective,
Very
eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly.
One time you buy it for 12 to 17 years.
Yeah, you're sorted.
You just have to put it in your bag, yeah. You just have to wash it
Yeah.
I
whenever
know.
you use it.
It's,
every
it's
You can
very
use it.
convenient also because we work in films and we
Yeah.
also use it and it's very
And
convenient.
people can go swimming with that. We can
Yeah.
do anything. They can wear their
Fantastic.
swimsuits, whatever they want to use without having a inhibition of not running around when they have anything.
Nice. Thank you very much. And to sum it up from can I to I can, I think you can seek help when you need. Please ask for help. It can be your mother, it can be
Yeah.
your husband, it can be your children, it can be your home help, it can be your neighbor, it can be anybody. But seek help if you need it, because you can seek help. And address yourself. If you have a problem, please address it, and please go ask. Ask a doctor, ask a nutritionist, ask your neighbor, ask
As a
anybody,
child,
ask a
ask
friend.
people.
Seek help. And this is what I think we all should do, from can I to I can. So let's take care of ourselves. When the woman is healthy, they say when if a woman is educated, the entire family and thus the society is educated. So if the woman is healthy, I believe truly that
Whole
the entire family and the nation will be healthy too. So please take care of yourselves and think of I before we
Yes.
for this time.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Thank you
for
so
now,
much.
That's a
it has
good
to be
one.
I
For,
before
yeah,
you.
before me. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the guests
Thank
to have
you.
graced this
Thank
occasion.
you.
I think
And-
thank you for
Yeah.
Yeah,
moderating
we
this
thank each
session
other, and
very
it's been a
well.
wonderful occasion. I would like to also thank you all the men for making this happen, because without women, there is no man. Thank you. Jai Hind.